On today's episode of Fork This City, we're hitting three very different corners of the New York City food scene. First up, it's Bad Roman, the maximalist C and B scene Italian American spot at Columbus Circle, where the decor is loud, the bathroom is louder, and the garlic babka might be the real main character. Then, an LA legend lands in Manhattan, Randy's Donuts. The giant rooftop donut is now in Greenwich Village, but does the hype travel cross country? And finally, Miami favorite Motek brings its Eastern Mediterranean seed oil-free menu to Flatiron, schnitzel, floral vibes, and all. Three spots, three different energies. Let's fork this city. I'm your co-host, Josh Einbinder, joined alongside Gabby Martin, aka Instagrubs. Gabby, how are you? Episode 13.
I'm so happy that we've made it to episode 13. I feel like the pod is really picking up some traction. We got a lot of fun announcements and giveaways and interviews that we've been working on that are going to come out over the next few weeks, and I am so excited.
I am too. I agree. I think we're gaining some traction, but for the people listening, keep following, keep liking our content. That's how we can keep skyrocketing.
We
Uh,
literally don't care if it's positive comment. Any comment is a
any
good
comment,
comment. If you've
any
listened
comment.
to our
I've
videos,
noticed on TikTok, that's where the majority of our negative comments come from is TikTok. And I'm just like, thank you very much because I think it is very hard to go viral on TikTok.
we love it.
And anytime I get a comment, I'm like, okay, engagement. So we're,
Yeah, I literally don't care what the comment is. You guys can write, you guys are the
yeah.
worst. This video sucks. This is boring. You're engagement farming. Literally, we don't care. I also like low-key got into like a little bit of a debate with someone on our TikTok the other day because we were talking about how like FICO's hours were wrong and how like that could hurt their business. And someone, did you see? They were like, actually, it's like not hurting their business. And I was
Well,
like, what do
also,
you mean?
what I thought was interesting is people were like, how do you not know what it is? I'm like, we genuinely didn't know what it was. Like,
Wait, know what was?
someone said, like, how do you not know what FICO's like the most famous sandwich shop is in the West Villages? And I just like, not everyone knows every restaurant in New York. Like, there are people who
Oh,
don't know what
someone made a
someone,
comment that we didn't know about it.
yeah, someone commented, like, how do you not know what it is? And
Oh, I didn't even see that.
I'm just like, there are people who live in New York who probably don't know what the corner store is. So,
We
like,
also like don't share a brain. Like we all have our own perspective.
yeah. Anyways, I want to fork into the first restaurant. It's a quality branded restaurant, so it's in the same umbrella with Don Angie, Quality Italian, Quality Bistro, all the kind of. They have a new Mexican spot on Ninth Ave, Bad Roman, which is in Columbus Circle. One of the more higher profile restaurants that sits on like the start of the Upper West Side. You have Tatiana, you have Bad Roman. Can't really think of any more else that sit like at Columbus Circle and higher.
Me
Um,
neither.
but it's an Italian restaurant. It's in the mall at Columbus Circle. It's a huge space. I would love to hear your initial impressions of Bad Roman.
Yeah. So I went, Josh and I didn't go together, just to preface. Like, we've both been to this restaurant. I feel like we have similar opinions. But so I didn't realize it's like in a mall. So I was so confused when I arrived. I went like this past week and I was like, where is this place? Like, I didn't realize I signed up to go to like a mall restaurant. Like, I was just so confused and I had a really hard time finding it. I don't know how you feel about that, but that definitely like threw me off. I thought it was just like a normal walk-in restaurant off the street.
That mall is like a carbon copy of the Hudson Yards Mall. I don't know if you've been in the Hudson Yards Mall where like
Mm.
I think Electric Lemon might be in the Equinox Hotel building, but either way, same vibes. Like there's something off-putting about eating in a mall. Like
Right. I was like, I
because
feel like I'm eating at like the Cheesecake
I was
Factory
just
and
about
now
to
it's
say
at the
that
mall.
when you're in a mall, like it's like PF Chang's, Cheesecake Factory,
Yeah.
um, some kind of chain, California Pizza Kitchen,
We
like
love CPK.
we do love CPK, it's great. But that's the vibe I get. So like instantly you walk in, beautiful space, like nice restaurant, but
It is beautiful.
it's already tough to be like, okay, I'm eating in a mall.
Right. I was like, wait, I'm just eating in the mall now. Like the vibe just got killed from the start. Like it's such a cute place. Like imagine someone was like going on a date night there and you didn't know it was in the mall and then you have to walk through a mall to get there. You're just like, ooh, a little bit of a vibe killer. But I will say, once you walk in, it's actually really cool and vibey.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
this is part of the thing I didn't like about the experience as a whole before getting into any of the food or anything is it feels like too big, and I do think that's the vibe of some of the quality branded restaurants in as a whole is outside of Don Angie. They're very big, they mass produce a lot of food, and they're a little overly hyped. Now, I love quality Italian. I think The chicken parm pizza is fantastic, but it's almost the same vibe. Same with Quality Bistro. It's these big restaurants that handle a lot of volume in a short amount of time. You know, the dinner rushes from 6 to 10 p.m. Every table is filled every night. Um, so, in general, my feeling going in was I know exactly what I'm going to expect, and I think when we're done talking about the food, it's going to be anyone who knows me knows this is just how I felt about the restaurant.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because Bad Roman had a lot of hype a few years ago. It was one of the really hot spots to go to, and I kind of remember that. It was before I lived in New York City, but I remember seeing it everywhere and everyone like it was the res to get.
Yep.
They must be doing something right though because it's not easy to get a reservation. I tried to change mine because it was at 7:30 to make it a little earlier the day of, and they had nothing. So they do have it down to a science in some regard.
Yeah. The thing is, I think you can get a reservation there. It's just you can't, like when the reservations come out, you can snag one. And I think that's why
Yeah.
it sits so well with people who visit New York because it is still a place that's like on a lot of people's lists. And if you can't get into the Lilias, the Mises, the Don Angies of the world, you're still going to a place that if you're from across the pond in England, you could be like, I went to Bad Roman. So you're trying one of those like places, those spots.
There's the hype. Yeah, there's hype around it.
And it's a harder reservation to get, and you're checking it off the list. And so that's kind of how I view the restaurant as a whole. But in terms of the service itself, I had no issues with the service. I just think, and we'll get into this,
Agreed.
I thought the food was a little overhyped.
I agree to some extent. So my service was good. Water refills were really good because now that Josh talks about them all the time, I pay attention. It's almost like, when something like doesn't bother you at all, but then someone's always talking about it, so then you start to like pay attention to it and
Yeah,
then it
of
bothers
course.
you. You've done that to me with water
I just
refills.
want to say I changed my belly bio from water refills are the most important thing to hydration is hospitality.
Oh my God. Like I get so stressed now because I'll like get seated and it's just a cup and no pitcher. And I'm like, oh my God, what if I finish my water
It's a
and no one comes
huge,
back?
huge risk when I see no pitcher on the table. I'm like,
I
oh,
know, but
okay. I'm
I
like,
didn't think about this before, and now it gives me anxiety. But props to Bad Roman because I kind of tested them. Well, I was thirsty, but I would finish my water and they were back a minute later. So they had it down. So with the pitcher, it's hard to say how good the water service would be, but they just had a glass and the water kept on flowing.
I will say with a pitcher, and this is something to note when you go to restaurants, I usually give an automatic 10 out of 10 on water refills if there's a pitcher. That
I
said,
do know that.
if the pitcher is not replaced within 5 minutes of the pitcher being empty, then I deduct points.
I agree with that, though. That would make sense.
Yeah, yeah. But for
Because
the
the
most
pitcher's a
part,
cop out a little bit, so they don't have to worry about it as
yeah.
often, which no problem. That's fine. I don't care. But yeah, you got to see if you finish it and it gets refilled because that's essentially a refill.
I would want to have at transparency, like not those like typical water jugs that are like maybe this big. I'd have like a massive, like huge, so you never run out of water in your meal.
But if it's too heavy or someone drops
We'll
it?
figure it out. I'll
Okay.
have like an engineer come figure it out. It'll be
Or like
specially
we just need
designed.
to get like a button on the table for like I need water refill. But I
Yeah.
can understand that a button could be abused in a way and like people can hit it on accident or be annoying about it.
Yeah.
So water refills were good at Bad Roman. So star of the show, in my opinion, the garlic babka.
Mhm.
I was most excited for that dish. I love babka. It was basically like a garlic bread babka. I give it a 9 out of 10, extremely high. I have one complaint.
Okay.
I don't know if you have the same one. It wasn't hot.
It was
Do you
more
remember?
room temperature.
Yeah.
Um,
Was that the same for you?
yes, I don't know if I mind that though. Because
I
some,
do.
as you know, I don't like warm desserts. Sometimes I don't like hot bread either.
You don't like warm bread when you go to a restaurant,
No,
like
I
to
think
start
room
the meal.
temperature is good.
You are a serial killer. That is no, that is literally not normal. Like when I go to an Italian restaurant and the bread comes, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is it warm. And if it's not, I actually don't eat it a lot of the time. If it's
Mm.
warm, I'm always taking that. So, okay, your opinion I don't really respect on this regard, but I guess the garlic, then you should be giving the garlic babka a 10 out of 10 because I thought it was incredible.
We also got the spicy Caesar. I don't know if you got that as
I
well.
did. Also, I give it an 8 out of 10 because too much dressing. It was doused.
It was very good though and visually appealing for photos, which
There
is
were like
important.
breadcrumbs on top, gave it a crunch, and I don't know what they put, but I loved the spice.
I think this is a recurring trend with any quality branded restaurant. They know how to make salads. The chrysanthemum salad at Donna Angie, this salad.
Yum.
Like I just think they know how to do a sandwich, a salad that looks good but also tastes pretty solid.
I agree. I think it's like the crumbs on the top. I've noticed that's a trend at all of their places now that
Yeah.
you mention it. Loved the salad. Sometimes though, if you douse it in dressing, I think it's supposed to be like that, but like would love just like a normal amount of dressing. I don't need it to be like soaked. So those two things, if I just left after that and didn't get dinner, I would have raving reviews. So like where the issue for me lays is the mains just weren't there for me. So I actually looked at your belly to see what you got.
Hmm.
I got the pappardelle bolognese. It was solid. It's just I've had better at way too many places.
Yep.
So it's just not, it wasn't worth it. But it wasn't bad by any means. It was just like good.
But I think what you're saying is exactly how I feel about the restaurant is it's not when I sit down there and I think about the meal, it's not something like best meal I've ever had. It's just it's a good dinner. Like if you're coming in for a show, like there's one Broadway theater by Columbus Circle, and you get a reservation there and you don't come into New York a lot, that's great. You're gonna enjoy your dinner.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a good dinner and be like, I'm satisfied. I went to a cool spot, blah, blah, blah. If you're more so a foodie who's really in tune with not just the New York City restaurant food scene, but Italian food, I
Mhm.
think you'll find this place a little bit lackluster. It feels a little commercialized at this point. That's my takeaway from
I
it.
guess. But it's not a chain though. But the thing is, I would argue the appetizers were special to me.
The
Like
apps
that
were
garlic
good.
babka you can't get anywhere else. So they do have a redeeming quality where like I know we don't agree on La Pecora. La Pecora actually doesn't really have a special dish that you can't get elsewhere.
Well, that's because La Pecora is just a basic Italian place.
But I'm saying you're saying so is Bad Roman in a sense,
I'm
but
just saying it's not otherworldly. Like, look at the filet with the cacio e pepe on top,
I
which
didn't get that.
I know neither one of us got that, but like to me, like I'm looking at it, I'm like that might be one of their things. Like that's the thing on TikTok that people are like, ooh, I like filet with
I
cacio e pepe.
agree. So I have a lot of opinions on that. Shout out to my waitress. So my friend and I were between the Cappelletti bistecca, which is essentially when you look on belly, it's the pasta with the steak inside of it,
Yep.
versus the filet with the cacio e pepe on top. I said to my waitress, "We're thinking between the two of these, which one?" And she was like, "Genuinely, the filet with the cacio e pepe is overrated."
Wow. She said that?
I've never loved a waitress more.
She said overrated.
Mhm.
Let me tell you something. If I owned transparency and I heard one of my wait staff say that about a dish, I'd be furious.
I understand, but
You,
as a
I,
patron,
yes, I
loved it.
appreciate her honesty. I wasn't there, I will say. That's very nice of her to be honest. I would just wouldn't want someone to use overrated
Hey,
if
well,
I was dealing with a restaurant.
we're not hiring her. I
You
appreciated
never
it,
know.
but I get it. But she said it's not bad by any means. People think it's super cool. People want to come here just for this. But if you're looking for an amazing dish, I recommend the Cappelletti instead.
Yeah.
That's how she worded it, and I trusted her. Did I like the Cappelletti? No. But
How often do you think wait staff tries the food menus? Is it only once when they start, or do they get a refresher every 6 months? I think about this all the time.
wait, I've never thought about this, but it's actually a pattern for me that I always ask the waiter their opinion.
Hmm.
I don't know if you do, but
I
I'm
always
always like, which thing should I get? And you want to know what? Maybe they're just like jokes on us. They haven't had anything and they just choose a random one.
I just like I would love to know if you're a restaurant owner, please comment and let me know because is it bi-monthly? Like do you let them get refreshers? Because I do think it's important that the wait staff can speak to everything that's on the menu. Like everything.
I don't think they do though. Like, I don't think they actually try everything on the menu.
I think they do. I think they have the option to at least.
I really don't know. We got to get a waitress on to talk about this. But yeah, interesting. I've never thought about it, but I think it's also a mixed bag. I think some restaurants, right, they're at more high-end restaurants, maybe a steakhouse, they were like, you got to try everything as it comes.
Mhm.
More casual places, don't think it matters. But I actually trust, I was talking about this yesterday. So, like, when you go to a restaurant and next to the menu, it'll say like top seller versus staff pick, what are you listening to?
I usually will get the top seller.
Okay, I actually would value the staff pick more.
But this is goes back to my point is when was the staff pick made? If
I
it's
don't
not
know.
recent, then like this could be staff that's been turned over and not there anymore.
But top sellers are usually really good or overrated and for TikTok. So it's just so hard to know. And
Mhm.
I guess I valued waiters and waitresses' opinions a lot when really who knows. So she did steer me wrong with the Capoletti bistecca. I could see someone really liking it. I think my issue with Bad Roman is pasta and steak don't belong together in the way they do it.
Yeah, I in the way they do it, I completely wholeheartedly
I could
agree.
see a
It's
dish
just like a
where
steak, like
it
on the
can make
plate,
sense.
pasta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a cacio e pepe dripping over my filet with like pasta on top is gross to me. Something
yeah.
about that is not a combination. But if it's like a bolognese, maybe with steak, that would be different. But
I
the way
mean,
they did it was odd.
overall, if you're listening, don't let us deter you from making a reservation here. Ultimately, if you want to try Bad Roman, it's
I
more
think
so
so
like
too.
know that there are better Italian restaurants to go out and have on your bucket list in New York City that are ahead of Bad Roman.
Yeah, I agree. And then did you get dessert? I didn't.
We didn't. I think one appetizer we got that you did not get, we got the tomatoes.
I would never get that as an appetizer.
Chili likes like tomatoes, although I do too, to be
They're
honest.
fine, but like
Um,
lame.
but
Sorry,
no,
I couldn't help it.
and that mall, I think we were just like, okay, it's time to leave. We're in a mall. So
Oh my God. So then yeah, when my friend and I went to leave, we were like, how do we get out? Like, it was just is it Lincoln Center?
it's
Am I
linked.
making that up?
No, Columbus Circle. It's Columbus Circle. Lincoln
But
Center.
what's that mall called?
I think it's called the Columbus Circle Mall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just like vibe killer. I
Yep,
will
the shop's
say,
at Columbus Circle.
oh, okay, that's a boring name. The matchbook, really nice. If you are looking to increase your collection, Bad Roman has them. Also, they were advertising Twin Tails. The Bad Roman, the owners own the new restaurant. It's not new, actually. It's probably been a year now, Twin Tails. I've heard it's really good, very upscale Thai food. Um, they kind of made it seem like it wasn't doing so hot because they were pushing it really hard. Like they were even giving out matchbooks for Twin Tails at Bad Roman. They were like, "You should make a reservation." Like I've just never seen a place push their
Mhm.
sister restaurant so much, but I've never been, so I have nothing to say about it. But overall, I gave it a 6.7, aka a 6.7 on Belly. Sorry, had to make the joke. And I think a 6.7, it's a 67, that's a D, almost a C. I double down with my score.
I don't want to share my score because I want to change it on Belly.
Oh, this is funny. I think you should tell the
I
followers.
did
You can
give it a
change it.
9.1, I think. But
No, I think it's higher.
But mind you, folks, my belly reputation, yes, I gave it a 9.1. My belly
Oh,
reputation, this is almost 2 years ago at this point. So I'm almost at 500 restaurants rated on Belly now. I think when I rated Bad Roman, I was at like 60. So
yeah, like this is
remember,
just
the
wrong.
less restaurants you rank, the higher some of the ratings will be. But now I would say my top 10, 20 is pretty accurate in terms of what I'm thinking, but
So what
just
number would you give it now if you got to just
I,
like
I
make up
think
your own
6, 7 is
algorithm?
very harsh. I'd give it like a 7, 7.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're
I'd
being
go a
generous.
full number above, a full point above you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't hate it. I just really don't
I would go
have
like
a
mid mid to high sevens because the way I feel it is like
okay.
there's some takeout places that I really like that I've given high sevens to, and I don't think Bad Roman's worthy of higher than that or less than that. I think
Sometimes
it's
I
like
don't like to overthink it. Like all belly reviews are not created equal.
yeah,
I look at it sometimes and I'm like, this is just not right, but it's fine.
yeah,
Okay, let's move on and talk about Motek.
yes. Uh,
I love Motek.
I love Motek too. I have very strong opinions on the service because I've only been one time, but it's a recurring trend I've heard. The food,
At
and
Motek.
we could talk about the food, I think is fantastic. I really
It
think the food
is.
is fantastic. I don't know what it is, if it's just the vibe. It's very loud and noisy and sexy inside. And I don't know how you feel about this, but like the one time I was there, I felt like only cool people were eating in there. Like I was looking around, I was like, oh wow, you're dressed a lot cooler than me. You look cooler than me. Um, but the service was horrendous, like downright zero.
Yeah, I haven't had that experience. I have had pretty good service there, and I've been to a lot of different locations too, and I've never once complained about the
I've
service.
actually also heard the service at the one in Boca is horrific as well.
You want to know where that might be getting confused with? Which it hasn't happened to me, but it is extremely popular. It's relatively new. Everyone is trying to get in, and sometimes you do have to wait 15 minutes before you get seated because it's just so slammed. I think that might be what's influencing the service.
No,
You
I'm
think it's
not gonna.
sitting down
I'm
and they're
not.
not
I
coming and
have a
stuff?
friend who went to the one in Boca Raton, and I know they argued with the wait staff about some of the food. So,
Real, I've been 3 times and I've had a 10 out of 10 experience. I'm actually going back next month because I know I'm going to Boca in April and I asked my mom to book it. So, okay. And that's okay. We're allowed to have different experiences, and that's what's crazy. I might think a place has amazing service and you might not. It probably depends on the night, and that's fine.
and
Um,
I also like we were a party of four, five, and they sat us at like a big long table for 10 people in the back,
I was
and
supposed to be there with you
you were
guys.
supposed to be there, and it was just way too big of a table for our party size, and because the table was so wide. You couldn't just sit like in a row. So like I was sitting across from my dad and he was so far away from me that I felt like I was like screaming. I was like, "Hello, can you hear me?" And
I was like
um
Theodora.
it just yeah, oh my God, I was very far from Kelsey and Jesse.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Kelsey, Jesse, we'll spend our time together, I promise.
Yeah,
But
I think yeah, you'll get to spend some time together in Sparta. So, okay, so why was the service so bad for you?
he just I'm not coming after the waiter personally. I'm just going to give my experience again. These are my own views. I don't think he like really cared. I'm trying to be as nice as possible.
I
He
think you
just
need to be more direct because that doesn't even make sense to me.
he seemed overwhelmed, inundated with requests, and I just don't think he was prepared to maybe either be a waiter or be a waiter with such a high volume of customers at once. He had a lot of
Okay.
tables he was manning, and I don't know if they're understaffed. It didn't seem like that in the New York location. It seemed like they had plenty of staff. But I just think he was running around, and I don't even blame that on him. Maybe that's just, the staffing needs, but he was forgetting things. He just didn't know what he
Oh
was
no.
doing, and it really made the experience. If you read my belly review, I thought the food was good. I gave it like an 8.7, but like virtually the entire
Oh,
score was brought down because of how bad the service was. It probably would have been in
that's
the
really
mid.
sad.
It would have been in the mid nines probably had he been better.
Wow. Okay.
But what I
Fair.
can tell you is that we ordered the falafel, the crispy cauliflower, the hummus, which I'm sure we'll get to all this, the baba ganoush, the Moroccan cigars, the chicken kebab, the Greek
Wait,
salad.
did you get the whole menu?
Yeah, we did. We also got the lemon potatoes, the
I haven't had
pastrami
any of
pita.
these things, so
Have you
leave
had
the
the
con-
zucchini pancakes?
Nope.
What did you order? I feel like those are like the big ticket items.
Okay, so I've gone with my family, most of the times I've gone, and it's not the same as dinner club where we all go to dinner and share a million things like when we go out. So everyone kind of gets their own dish. So our go-tos are the cabbage slaw or cabbage salad. We are obsessed with it. My family more than me, but it's really, really good. I highly, highly recommend. And then we always get the hummus and pita. And then Emmy and I, my sister, are obsessed with the chicken schnitzel sandwich with like that orange sauce that comes in the squeeze bottle.
We've gotten the chicken schnitzel, but not the sandwich.
The sandwich is to die for.
I'm not, I don't like sandwiches, so I'm
It
not,
doesn't matter.
I don't want to put
Okay.
them.
You
You're
should,
basically eating like a chicken cutlet sandwich, but
yeah, but there's like pickles and tomatoes and lettuce and like it's like an aioli sauce in the bottle and we get extra of it. It's so
I will
good.
say the hummus is very good there. The pita is very good. The food's just good. Like the food is just all
It's
around
really
good.
good.
And they're opening a lot more in New York City. I think they have like two or three locations like
I
opening.
walked by the other day and it said coming soon Motek. I don't remember where it was.
There's one I think coming by Union Square. I think there's another, yeah, I think there's another coming by the Plaza Hotel. And then there's another going to FiDi. I don't know. There are at least two or three more coming. Can I just give my 2 cents? I'm not an
Well,
expert.
when do you ask permission to do that?
You're right, never. Is I think they're expanding in New York too quickly. I know they're a Miami institution, like a South Florida institution, everyone loves it down there, but I think you need to create like they've created hype, but you should keep that hype before you keep opening places. Like opening a second location, fine. opening two or three more in New York, like I think they should slow it down a little bit. You
Yeah,
want
there's
your
something
tables
to,
filled every night.
I was gonna say, there's something to be said about like not making it too accessible. Does that make sense? Like if there's four locations, that's just like that's gonna become a chain to people,
Yeah.
and people like to hate on
But
chains.
I'm gonna start to view it more like a Smith, where it's like, oh, like
That's what
okay,
I'm saying.
it really does bring the value of the brand down when you think about it.
I'm agreeing with you. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Pop-Up Bagels is making the same mistake. They are,
Apollo's doing the same thing now too. They're everywhere.
yeah. I mean, not to the extent of Pop-Up though is like every
Everywhere in New
state.
York now. Yeah, pop-ups everywhere in the country, but Apollo's everywhere in New York. And I
Yeah.
just, if I ran a business, I think I'd want to slow it down a lot more than that, just to, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but to like just create a little bit more, um, like room to grow, I think. Like, I think a lot of people just see dollar signs and they're like, oh, we're making this much money. We can open up another location. And we've heard it from multiple restaurant owners. Like, I'd rather be very good at one thing than like my quality standards go down and have 10 locations. And I have a feeling that could happen in some of these locations.
I also think it's a supply and demand thing. Like it should be a little hard to get. It makes people
Yeah.
want to go more.
Yeah. Why do you think Fort
Sadly.
Charles is Fort Charles? Like,
Right.
you
Like
can't
if,
get
if there was one
in.
on every block, we'd be like, Fort Charles, good burger.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's the demise of their own hype, basically, by opening everywhere.
Yeah. And that's actually, I love that. Demise of the hype. That should be
I know I'm
now
really
that
proud of myself
that
for
that should
thinking.
be the episode title for tonight.
Okay, yay.
I like
Demise
that.
of our own hype. I like it too because like that is essentially what they're doing. If there's no hype, you got to play a little bit hard to get. You walk past a place on the streets of Manhattan, you see a long line. I go, "What's that line
Yeah.
for?"
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, look at
I'm
Uresh,
interested.
right?
Ugh,
Like
Oresh.
literally the same thing. Like all we see on TikTok, it's like, come with us to the new hardest reservation again in New York. Come with us to the corner store sister restaurant. And you're like, oh shit, what is that? That's awesome. But if Uresh was just like Motek and had five locations in New York, I'd be like, whatever, who cares?
Right,
I'll try it, call it a day.
but like, yeah, I'm all for making things accessible, but it's just like too accessible that you're just gonna lose the hype. I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this, but I think our opinions are correct here.
And I want to this is a great segue because I want to transition to our third and final establishment of the day that we're going to talk about, which is another hype place on the West Coast, Randy's Donuts. They're famous. They have the big donut like on top of their shop in LA. They opened in the West Village in New York. And I mean, I'll go first. I hated it.
I didn't know we were gonna use the word hate.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I'm not, I don't want to tear down. I don't know if they're considered a small business. I think it's a mix of I don't like donuts. But two, in fairness, I'll give them some credit. We went at 3 p.m., so I'm sure the donuts have been sitting there. I don't know how frequently they make their donuts. I assume one time in the morning, which is
Right.
when a lot of places do. It was hard. It wasn't
Yeah,
that
something was
good,
wrong.
and I didn't really have any expectations going in, but it was a disappointing donut.
I didn't even know about the hype about it. Um, we were just happened to be in the area, and Jamie was like, "Oh, I heard this open nearby," so we tried. Mind you, I remember being really nauseous while we were waiting for it because we were doing like a little bop around New York City, try different foods that day, and Randy's was towards like the latter half. So I remember like being super like not even hungry to begin with. But we got I think a chocolate frosted, right, with sprinkles.
Yep.
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 Rock hard.
And
Not
can I,
rock hard. Hard.
if you are blessed and lucky enough to follow my belly, you would have seen that I wrote, I think Dunkin' Donuts donuts are better. And
They
they were,
are.
yeah, I mean,
Dunkin'
it just,
Donuts donuts aren't even bad.
no, nothing about Dunkin' Donuts is that bad. Like, it's really
I
not.
mean,
Their bagels are horrific, but
yeah,
but
their
like, you're
food's
not,
not great,
if
but
you're getting a bagel from Dunkin' Donuts, which I've gotten before,
I've gone
you
before too.
have to know what the expectation is. Like, you can't go and be like, this is going to be a good bagel. It's
Yeah, it's not.
fuel to get you through a couple hours. That's
It's like
all.
you're on a road trip and you have one option,
Yeah.
and that's fine. I like Dunkin' as a whole
Yeah.
too, so they're staple. Their donuts are better. I don't know if it was purposely, but the like dough to frosting ratio was severely off. It was a lot of dough, like 99%, and like a really thin layer of like
Mm.
chocolate frosting. And I remember it was just like dough, but like
Mhm.
stale too. It definitely wasn't fresh unless it's meant to taste that way. I don't, what else can we say?
I'm pretty curious to try the one in LA because I have a feeling it's probably better if I were to take a
Probably.
guess. I don't know the next time I'll be out in LA, but next time I'm
Me
there,
either.
I'll swing by.
And they might have been
Unfortunately,
having an off day. Like it's so hard to know, but from our experience, we don't recommend it. It's a
yeah,
fork no.
it's a fork now. Yeah, it's just donuts too are like a weird. I think they have a weird identity crisis. Is it a breakfast? Is it a snack? Is it a dessert?
The
Because
dessert.
it's not a dessert to me because I would never have a donut for dessert, but it's also not a breakfast because I want something like a little bit more substantial, and I'm not having a donut for a snack either.
Well, in the context of me having them in the past few years, it has been a snack. Like someone's like brought donuts to work or like
Right.
in New Jersey where my family goes over this summer, whenever like our family visits, they bring duck donuts. Which is the really cool donut place. They have really cool flavors and it's amazing. I love their donuts actually. And they always bring them over and there's like bacon flavor, but then there's all like the chocolate and cookie dough and like they're amazing. And we
Yeah.
all cut them into like tenths and like eat a bunch of them. And like it's always a snack. That's not the meal, but we really enjoy them. But yeah, I don't think donuts for either of us would be our dessert of choice.
No, definitely not. And it's a shame because I know a lot of people love Randy's. I'm sure if you're listening, you're like, and you've been to the one in LA, you're probably like, how dare you guys? But go try the one in New York. Go at 3 p.m. on a Sunday and let us know if you feel the same way because it just wasn't
Well,
great.
no, maybe our recommendation should be go at 9 a.m. and let us know if we were
Yeah.
wrong.
Yes, go
I've
go
had
whenever
a
it's
Dunkin'
open.
donut like later than 3 p.m. and it was didn't taste like that,
Yeah, no, you're right.
you know?
They must have not been fresh. Like I don't know what chemicals Dunkin' Donuts pumps into their donuts, but I'm sure they're good in any other time of
Oh,
day. But with Randy's, like,
they should
yeah,
invest in those chemicals.
yes, anything that's it's giving when Subway had yoga mat in their breads a couple years ago.
Wait, I love Subway.
I love
But
Subway.
yeah,
It's great. I
fun fact about Subway, you know their bread by law is not bread. The sugar content is too high.
wow.
It's not bread. Um, my brother loves to tell me this. It's like I don't it can't classify as that.
It is
So I
very
think
good
it's like
though.
a dessert.
They
Oh,
have,
the whole wheat bread's so good.
they have a spicy Italian sandwich that I think is otherworldly. Not actually, but like it's very good. I enjoy it
I love
for
their
first.
pickles and the banana peppers.
Well, this has been episode 13 of Fork This City. Make sure to give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. I want to give a special shout out real quick to Max from Eat Cheese with Max. He was our cheese teacher in Paris and he followed the podcast. So if
I
you're
was like,
listening,
who
Max,
is
and if you made it to the end of the podcast, shout out to you. You can follow us on Instagram at Fork This City Pod, on TikTok at Fork This City. I am your co-host Josh Einbinder, joined alongside Gabby Martin. Gabby, anything else to say?
I'm speechless because I didn't know who Max was. Shout out to Bob Martin, our number one fan, forever and always. Peace out, mother forkers.